Hey y'all, welcome back to Nini's Texas Kitchen. Today we're going to make an old-time Southern favorite called chess pie. First thing we're going to do is make the crust, and for this one I'm making what they call a pâte frisée, which is just some sort of fancy French word for pie crust. I don't know, I'm not French. But anyway, the way you make this crust, this is for a 1 crust pie, so if you were making it for a 2 crust pie, you just need to double this, okay? So you need 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Then you're going to need, it is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Just go ahead and put it in there with that. Then you're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Sprinkle that in. Now we're going to have cold water, and I have butter. You need 1 stick of cold butter chopped up into little pieces so you can put it in with this. So you can put this on here and you can just mix this up a little just to get your flour, salt, and sugar combined. No big deal. Now we'll put our butter in and combine it. And I already chopped it earlier and just kept it in the fridge to cool. So if you have it chopped up like this, it'll just be faster that it'll chop up into your flour mixture. So just put that right on in there. Now your water, I put a little bit of crushed ice in this a while ago, but you want between about 1/4, maybe 1/2, like 1/8 of a cup, and 1/4 of a cup of ice cold water into your mixture once you get the butter all crumbled in there. So not before that. First, and I like to use my food processor. It just makes it easier. You can use one of those pastry cutter little hand tools if you have one, or if you don't have one, you can use a fork. Or you can just use your fingers if you want. But just remember, your butter will get warmer that way if you're using your actual hand skin touching it. So when I do it like this, it's all nice and crumbly now. The butter's been chopped up and crumbled into this. So now I'm just going to take part of this water. I'm going to start out not doing all of it. I'm going to do about 1/2 of it first, and then I want to see how it mixes. I don't want to get it too sloppy wet, but I want it to have enough moisture that it will stick together to form a crust. And it looks like it's going to need some more. So we'll just go ahead and put it all in there. And just keep pulsing it. And as you can see, it's starting to stick together, forming a little crumbly crust. So that's all you got to do. Now, what you want to do is take some plastic wrap. And I'm just going to lay this out, and I'm going to bring it all together on my plastic wrap, and then I'm going to chill it while I make my filling. I already have my oven preheated to 375 degrees because I'm going to blind bake my pie crust after it's chilled for a few minutes in the refrigerator. You just want to keep your butter nice and cold. That's the whole point of that. So just turn it out on there like this. Just get as much of it on there as you can. And I'm going to make it in this pie tin that the lid bottom comes out. And so this is kind of a big one. It's going to be a thin little pie or tart or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to kind of go ahead and shape this into like the disc shape, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of flatten it out just a little, like so. For one thing, it'll chill faster, and for another thing, it already will have the kind of shape that I want it to have when I put it into that pie tin over there. So now I'm going to put it in the fridge. Might even just stick it in the freezer so that it can chill super fast. All right, now we're going to go ahead and make the filling. And what you're going to need for this filling is you need 3 whole eggs and then 1 egg yolk. So I have that in here. Then you need to go ahead and beat that for a second. Just kind of beat your eggs up a little bit. You don't have to get them all, you know, completely frothy or anything. You just want to kind of combine them like so. Now I need my 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I have a teaspoon here. Teaspoon of vanilla going in. Set that to the side. Done with that. Then I need 1 cup of sugar. Now, my little scoop that I have for my sugar, it's 1/4 of a cup. So I'm just going to use it and put 4 scoops in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done with the sugar. Now, mix that in. Okay. If you want to use a stand mixer for this, you can. When I'm doing like a single pie filling like this kind, I usually just use my hand mixer. The next thing is you need 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar. Light or dark. I have kind of 1/2 and 1/2 in mine here. They're basically the same. The dark one just has a little bit more molasses to it, which is why it makes it darker. But they're both delicious. So, you just want to beat that really good. Now we need to put in our for chess pie, you also have 1 tablespoon of cornmeal, and all it kind of does is just give it a little bit of texture in there. It's not like there's a lot in it, it's just a tiny bit. So you want to go ahead and put that in and beat that in. And then we also need 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Boom, there goes salt. And then you need 1 stick of melted butter. So I have that here. Pour away. Just mix it really, really well. And that is our filling. So I'm just going to cover this with some plastic wrap just to keep it without anything getting in it while I'm waiting. And I'm going to check my pie crust and see if it's done. And I'm keeping the beaters out just in case while I'm waiting on that. If it starts to look like it's going down, I'll just fluff it back up a little bit. I don't think it'll do that, but just in case. All right, so let's check how cold our pie crust is. It is almost ready, probably 5 minutes. So, be back in 5 minutes and show you how to do that part. All right, y'all, our pie crust chilled firm enough so it was in the freezer. I put it in there for like 8 minutes, so it's faster. If you put it in the fridge, you're probably gonna have to do it for like 30 minutes. So make sure that you flour your rolling pin and then just roll it out. Start in the middle, roll each way, and then you can flip your pastry or you can do this. It is a good idea to flip your pastry though whenever you're doing these type of crusts, because you don't want them to start sticking to, you know, your surface that you're rolling it out on, whatever it is. Like I have this little silicone sheet that I roll mine out on, but That way it's not as much to clean up when I'm done. But if you're just doing it on like your regular countertop or whatever, you just don't want it to start sticking in one area and mess you up. So now what people do is they put it on their rolling pin or they whatever to move it. This is my method. I like to fold it into like a little square, and then I come and set it right in the middle of my pan. Then I just unfold it. Boom, boom, like so, and like so. And that is how I do it. Now, you can go around, and you want to make sure it's pressed in to all of the sides like this. And if you're a little short in one area, pull some off, put it over there, and just press it in like so. And then I want a little bit more over here. So this is all you have to do. Just piece it. Just remember, you want to roll your crust out to about 1/8 of an inch. You don't want a thick crust. It'll be kind of soggy in the middle. Even with blind baking, you probably won't be able to get it good enough. So now, here's the trick. To get your edges nice and even, just take your rolling pin, put it right on the top, and just roll it like that. On this particular type of pan, you can do that. If you have a regular pan, you're going to need to crimp it. You know, you can do the edge like this, or you can just use a fork, which is what I do most of the time if I'm using a regular pie pan. And then it's all trimmed off. Now you need a docket, and that just means in normal people talk, you need to poke it. Okay, so I just poke it like so, and this is because I just want a really crispy crust. Okay, you don't have to do it this way. Just do that. Now I'm going to put this in the middle, and I'm going to put my bacon beans in it. If you don't have bacon beans, guess what I usually used before I got any? I used pinto beans or rice or whatever dried, like good like that I had in my pantry. Okay, so now I'm going to stick it in the oven, and I'm going to leave it in there for about 20 minutes at 375. Then I'm going to take it out, let it cool for a few minutes, like 5. Pour my stuff in and bake it again at 325. 325 for about 25 to 35 minutes. All right, so here we go. 375, 20 minutes. And we'll be back whenever it's ready. All right, y'all, I just took our blind baked pie crust out of the oven. I only did it for 20 minutes, and it's fine. It's still tender. It's gonna bake some more in the oven with the rest, but you can see how it's starting to look done. So now I can take this, and it looks okay, but I'm just gonna do this one more time just to get everything all mixed in. Really good, like so. I'm going to leave my beaters there. Now I just need to get a scraper, voila, and then I'm going to take this and pour it all into my shell. And you want to scrape it down so you can make sure you get everything in it. There we go. Now this is hot. So I've already turned my oven down to 325. Remember, I had it on 375. So now I'm going to very carefully grab my pie shell, my pie pan, and I'm going to carefully set it in the oven very carefully because I just cleaned it. Okay, and it's in there. So now I'm going to set my timer for 25 minutes and I'm going to check it. After 25 minutes, if it needs some more time, I'll do another 5 or 10 minutes. It's going to have like this. It's going to kind of poof up a little bit and have kind of like a crusty looking top. So when it's ready, we'll come back and show you. All right, y'all, our pie is done. It came out of the oven at right at 25 minutes. And as you can see, it's already kind of, you can see it's pulled away from the sides like this. So this is like I told you, it's a removable bottom pie. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take it and set it on here like so and just let this part fall away. And then just set it over here to let it finish cooling. And you can see the edges, how pretty they look, all fluted around. It's a nice thin pie crust. And I'm just gonna let it sit here and cool like this, and then I'll put it on a serving tray. And it'll need to cool for, you know, a couple hours, and then it'll be ready to slice and serve. So if y'all like my video making homemade old-fashioned chest pie, please give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment down below. Go back and watch some of my other videos. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all next time in Nini's Texas Kitchen.